Hi, this might be a little too ambitious, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to try to go through 21 amps in the ToneStack amp selection. I'm going to use one cabinet so that you can hear the difference between the different amp heads. I picked a cabinet that I liked the most. I based it on something. I sent bias into ToneStack and then into this amp, into this speaker cabinet, and it matched up pretty well with what I was doing in bias. So I kind of had a frame of reference. So again, there's no bias involved in this now. This is strictly ToneStack. This is on an iPhone 5. It's not a C, not an S, just an iPhone 5 straight up. To get set up, there are some things that I set up as a consistent configuration that I use for most all setups that I use in ToneStack, and we're going to start with that first. So this is at the far end of everything. This is post amp, and this will stay on for all of the demos. So I've got the plate reverb at the end of the stack. There's nothing past it. Then I've got the zone verb. That's just I use that as a little bit of a room sound. It's very, very subtle, very short, very subtle. Then I've got before that I've got a long delay, stereo delay, left and right stereo delay. You can see the delay settings at the top. Very, very low return level for the delay. I'm not using the stereo chorus. That's not in line. But to get for some effects, I do sometimes use a short delay. Short stereo delay kind of emulates that room effect I was talking about, but we're not going to use that on this. Oh, I'm sorry. We are going to use that on this because it's pretty critical to the sound. So if you attempt to do this, you want to look at these settings. You got 19 milliseconds on the left and 30 milliseconds on the right, and a very no regeneration, just a little bit of left and right air for the guitar sound. So I've got that in addition to the zone verb for a little air around the, it's pretty much the amp cabinet. It would be in the room, like if you were recording in a studio situation. So you got the plate, you got the zone verb, long delay, very short delay. I'm not using this compressor. I like this thing a lot, but I'm trying to keep a few of the things out of line here so you don't have too much affecting the sound. But this is a great compressor for the end of the chain, but I won't be using it. This is the speaker cabinet, the Leeds 412 with the ribbon mic, and you can see it's all zero. It's zero distance and zero angle, zero off center. So it's right in front of the cone. And then this is the tones. These are the heads backwards. I've got the most aggressive amps at the end of the lineup, and we kind of step through the Marshalls and then the orange group and high watt, and I don't know what these are. These are like boutique amps. Then I've got the Fender lineup in the front because those are pretty much the cleanest, most of them anyway. And we got the Ampeg right at the start of the stack because it's really, really nice, clean sound. Excuse me. If we go back to the head now, coming in from the guitar chord, I'm not using this. I keep all this stuff in the lineup so that I can switch back and forth and check it quickly, which is something you might want to do too. It can be confusing if it's the first time you've ever seen it, but it's like just having a massive floor pedal setup. I am going to use this as the noise gate because I find it works the best. And this is the standard setup, I believe, that comes with it when you put it in line. It's engaged right now, and it works nicely. This is a good one too, but I'm not using it. And then I've got some compression up front that I'm not using, and one compressor that we will be using. This, I think it's a Boss emulator. Really like the sound of this thing. So as far as effects in line through the whole thing, it's the stuff you saw post cabinet and just this. Now, for this demonstration, because it gets too confusing if I have too much stuff up front, I'm just going to use a clean boost, and you can see the settings. It's just a tad more on the bottom and tad more on the top. Now, I have all this in line to test out, but obviously it would take a while. So let me go back here, see what we've got up. Turn that off. And we're going to start with the Ampeg at the front of the line. So this has a reverb built in, and I'm adding it to the sound because it really gives it the character. I'm playing through a Les Paul Custom Light 2013 edition. It's got the Coil Tap. I don't know if I'm going to check all four all 4, 5, 6 sounds configurations, but we'll see how far we get. For right now, this is dual coil treble pickup Ampeg with the effects that you saw. And then there's the rhythm pickup. So that's a nice clean sound. I'll show you what the single coil tap sounds like. This is the lead pickup, the bridge pickup. And here's the rhythm. And here's single coil, both pickups engaged, kind of an out of phase sound. And this is with both coils. So that's basically that amp with this guitar together without a lot of distortion. And we'll go through next. Now, I don't know what model. I'm not going to try to tell you what models these are, but you'll recognize them in your own setup when you get to them. That's the treble pickup with double coil. Rhythm pickup. I'm just gonna move along here. We're gonna use the. I'm not gonna go through the coil taps, and so here's the next Fender style emulator. Rhythm. Go to the next amp. This dual Showman, I think they're trying to go for here. Treble. Rhythm. Okay, that's all the amps. Well, that's 21 amps. Oops. 21 amps from this selection. I don't know how many there are in total. Through the single amp speaker cabinet so that you can get an idea of what they sound like with the same gear I told you about engaged throughout. One compressor, one clean overdrive, a short delay, a long delay, little room sound, and a plate. So I hope that has given you some idea of the sounds you can get with ToneStack. ToneStack is pretty nice. It runs on an iPhone, which is nice too. And you can send your configuration files to yourself through email. They're easy to share. Kind of a little more, it's not like a jail type situation like Bias, which is nice. And you have a nice inter-app audio interface with this, which I may show you on a different video. It's a nice setup. The bottom end has a certain kind of splat. Could be a little tighter maybe, but generally speaking, I think you get the idea. It's really a lot of fun to play with, and it also has a very convenient way to play along with your iPhone music library. Unfortunately, when you change the speed or the tempo, if you change the key or the tempo, you get a mono signal. It's pretty good quality, but it strips the stereo out. But other than that, it's pretty nice. You can record riffs in here. You got a metronome. It's a really nice application. So I hope you enjoy it.